Welcome to the maiden edition of The Conversation. It's Ondo the Side 2020, and I'm Akalabi Abiola Theophilus. On The Conversation, we'll be focusing on Ondo State as the people of Ondo State prepare for the forthcoming election, whereby they will be electing the next governor of the Ondo State that will be piloting the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. As we all know, the current governor is rounding up his tenure, and we would be going in for another election for the Ondo State people. It's quite important to bring to your notice that the conversation was pioneered, it was engineered, and it is a platform that is created by Glimpse Nigeria. And as much as we love to bring you updates as regards the Ondo State election 2020, we would like you to follow us on our social media pages at Glimpse Nigeria. Don't forget to follow our pages and as well like the pages. Now let's go to Ondo State as a state on its own. We are going to be giving a brief history of Ondo State. We'll be talking about the online review. We'll be giving you the online polls to see what the people of Ondo State really think, who they think the cap fits to pioneer the affairs of Ondo State for the next 4 years. Ondo State was created in the year 1976, and it has Akure as its provincial headquarters. Where also has a present Ekiti State as of then until 1996, which the late General Sani Abacha created Ekiti State from Ondo State. Ondo State is a very rich state when it comes to culture, when it comes to the people. We know Ondo State people are very industrious and they have so many educated elites. Ondo State has an estimated population of 3,441,024. comprising of 1,700,064 males and 1,690,000 females in all. Now, if we look at Ondo State as a state that thrives when it comes to subsistence agriculture, the people of Ondo State are known to be farmers, traders, and fishermen. Ondo State is so blessed when it comes to natural resources. We have the likes of cocoa, we have cotton, we have so many natural resources in Ondo State. Bitumen, which include pyrite, which includes iron ore and kaolin, and so much so much mineral resources deposited in Ondo State. Now, if we look at all these things, there are things that really make Ondo State economy to boom. One thing is, religion is always a controversial matter anywhere in the world. But when it comes to Ondo State, it is quite interesting to know that Ondo State people have this religious tolerance for each other. Ondo seems to have made the most impact in setting the pace for the nation, partly owing to the widespread education of its citizens. Many families in the state have produced graduates, and by estimate, it is said that we have about, in each family, we have at least 5 graduates. And ranging from there, we discover that when it comes to politics, the level of education of Ondo people has helped to promote their political awareness. So, the consciousness in politics of Ondo State people is quite high. And, well, let's just take a brief history back to things that have happened in the past politically when it comes to Ondo State. In 1983, the year when the people voted the late Adekunle Ajasin to be the governor of the state, and it was rigged for Mr. Akin Omoboriowo of the National Party of Nigeria. The election was declared as Akin Omoboriowo won the election, but the people of Ondo State rose against that decision, that it was massive rigging. And according to reports, there are about 40 people who lost their life who had connections with the rigging of the election. Now, this opened a frame for Nigerians to be more enlightened when it came to the Shehu Shagari election. And if we look at from precedent, we discover that Ondo State has a high level of political awareness. A similar crisis followed the governorship election in the state, unlike the 1983 when the election was rigged for the opposition candidate. This time, it was the incumbent governor, the late Dr. Olusegun Agagu. He was the beneficiary of the rigged election, and after so much protracted litigations, the court eventually pronounced Mimiko of Labour Party as the governor of Ondo State then. Now let's go to 2016. 2016 was a peculiar year in the elections of Ondo State. Why? Because there were a lot of events that occurred on top of both inter-party, intra-party, and the likes. First, the PDP had two factions that emerged within the party. We had the Ahmed McAfee faction and also the Jimoh Ibrahim for the Ali Modu Sherif faction. Yeah, from the McAfee faction, Eyitayo Jegede emerged as the PDP candidate, while from the Ali Modu faction, Jimoh Ibrahim was picked to be the candidate of the PDP then. Now this caused a collision between the party. Party members were confused who was going to represent the party at the election, who was going to stand for the party at the poll. It caused a whole lot of noise, and then eventually the court prevailed and said Jimoh Ibrahim was the right candidate. But there was another turn. Eyitayo Jegede's name had already been submitted to INEC for the elections. Now this caused a whole lot of problem. Let's look at APC on their own. APC had their own inter-party crisis as well, where it was alleged that the primaries was rigged to favour the present and incumbent governor, Rotimi Akeredolu. Now all these things were the build up to the election then, and eventually Rotimi Akeredolu became the governor of the state. Now let's look at Ondo State and the senatorial districts in Ondo State. Ondo State has 3 senatorial districts. We have Ondo North, Ondo South, and Ondo Central. And these 3 senatorial districts houses 18 local governments in total, where we have the likes of Idonre, we have Akoko, we have Akure, and the likes. So there are 18 local governments in all in Ondo State. Ondo State certainly has some places of tourist attractions. For example, the Idonre Hills. The Idonre Hills is actually very beautiful, scenic environment where the scenes of the mountains, the hills, covers the local government and makes it more appealing when it comes to sight. Now, we also have the Igbolodumare, the dreaded forest, which is believed to be housing thousands and thousands of demons and spirits, as written about by the late D.O. Fagunwa. We also have the likes of the palace of the Deji and many other antiquities and artifacts that in fact some have already been declared national monuments. Now for this edition of The Conversation, we have spoken about the brief history of Ondo State. We've talked about the political terrain. We've mentioned the senatorial districts. We've mentioned Ondo State economy and some other things. Now, the next edition, you should be expectant. It's going to be enthralling. It's going to be very, very, very insightful, because we are now going deep into Ondo State when it comes to politics. We'll be having our online reviews. We'll be having our online polls. We'll be having the live chats and the rest when it comes to Ondo Decide 2020. Now, don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to like our pages on the social media at Glimpse Nigeria. And also, our website is glimpse.ng. Do want to check out the website and follow us on our social media pages. It was nice having you on The Conversation. My name is Akanabi Abiola Theophilus. Looking forward to seeing you on the next edition. Thank you very much.